I didn't want it to do anything too crazy. I just wanted to have some fun and chill with my kids and just kind of get back into the routines. And so we're doing a lot of fun things today. So we started off this morning by reading one word for kids. And really this is like a setting for like the beginning of school. And I just preface that, and just if you've never heard about choosing a word instead of doing New Year's resolutions, I would, kind of tell you to check into that, because it's kind of a cool concept. My pastor several years ago had introduced that to us, and I have been doing it with my kids ever since. So we read this book, we talk about New Year's resolutions and how most people can't keep them, and we get pretty deep in the conversations and talking about the vocabulary words of some different words that they can choose and what they mean. And I want them to be truly self-reflective in that. So after we read that and we talk and they come up with their word through a process of, what do you want to be better at? What did you like that happened? How can you make things better? And narrowing it down to one word. And then I got this new this year. This is from Learning Core. I saw it online on social media. And so they color it. There's many different faces and many different ways of presenting. But instead of just their vision, like they're choosing a word and their vision of how they are going to achieve that goal. So they have 3 things that they write, in order to be better with motivation, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And they really enjoyed doing that. Let me show you a couple examples. So here are some of their examples and how, the glue is sticking. All right, so that was the one word project. That took us about an hour to do, because I really talked to them about like really thinking and self-reflecting and choosing a good word, and that takes a while. After that, we read Snowflake Bentley, a classic to read, and we're going to be reading about snow and like the science behind things, and like we're starting the water cycle in science, so it kind of goes really well with that for the rest of the week. So today I just read Snowflake Bentley, and we talked about like a biography and how, because there's parts that are a biography in that book. But anyway, we talked about that. But then we tried to create a snowflake. That did not go over so well. So I did get this from online, and that is this is from Hey Natalie, I guess. It was if you search, it was from TPT, and if you search Learning Station Snowflakes, that is where I got this. I will say these directions were very confusing for step 4 and 5. And so we didn't really get to make any snowflakes. We tried, we failed, and we learned from that, and that's okay. So we might continue to try this throughout the week. But it's okay that not everything works out. They still had fun. We still tried. We laughed a lot about it, and then we moved on. The next thing we did is I had hot chocolate for them today. That was like my birthday treat to them. And what we did was they were given a large cup of cocoa that they needed to decorate. And so I laminate these so I can use them each year. This was my first year doing it. However, I didn't do it exactly like the directions, because it says to have them trace it. And I thought that was silly to take the time to trace it when I needed it to be on like cardstock. And you don't see, like, I just didn't find the reason to trace it when I can copy it onto cardstock. So really, they didn't even need the directions. This is from Glitter Meets Glue on TPT. So anyway, this side's not really needed, but it did give them examples to look at on what they were going to do. So that part was helpful, but we didn't use the directions. I gave them the cup of cocoa and they had this and a die. They would roll it and they would put in their first shape into one of these. And then they would roll again, and that's the second design, I guess, that they would put in another one. And they did that for each time. Some kids decided to do it a sixth time to do the handle of the cup, which was cool. But then what you do is you go over it with marker, and then you take a wet paintbrush, just water. Here's just a couple of them, but it starts to look like watercolor. And all they did was do the designs. And so that was kind of cool. They had fun with that. So we did that. Again, that was from Glitter Meets Glue. Then what we did was my favorite activity. It was so much fun. I am not a crochet person, but my pastor's daughter is, and I have had this book for a year or two and I've never done anything with it. It's an amazing book. And I was looking at it the other day because I was like, oh, extra yarn. Like this would be like, it's about being cold, and she makes like these sweaters and stuff for everybody. And the yarn is never ending. And I was like, we could use that as a winter book. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if I had somebody come in and teach them to crochet? And so that's what we did. We had so much fun. So much fun. So I did spend some money to get this started, but this will last me for a long time. And if you have people who crochet, they always have extra yarn. The needles were not that expensive to buy. I think it was less than $20 to supply one for my whole class. And then I had several left over for like some of the adults that were in the room that got to help or wanted to try. And then the person, her name is Gretchen, that came in to help the kids, and I'll insert some videos here in just a second. She left me some yarn that she knew she was not going to be using. And I told, my kids had so much fun, even my boys. I mean, you always have those few that are not into it and so forth, and that's okay. Like, I get that, but most of my class was so into it, boys included. And they just wanted to figure it out, and it was great. It was so fun. Some of my girls were like, can we take it home? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, that's staying with me. That is my money, and I will use those from, every year. But I think I'm gonna leave some out for recess because I'm in Indiana. Winters are cold. We don't go outside a lot in December, January, February. And that will be something they can do for inside recess. So much fun. And this will last me a long time. We didn't even open a lot of them. So even though I had to put some money towards it, actually, I barely had to put any towards it. So I had gotten an Amazon gift card from a student, and I had gotten one from the school, and that paid for it. So, but if you don't have that, it could be a little bit of money up front. If you have yarn or people who can donate it to you, the needles were not that expensive. You can get it for under $20. So that is what we did today. And it was so much fun. So much fun. Now tomorrow's back to a normal day, and I'm okay with that too because I love my schedule. So anyway, I hope this gave you some ideas. Those are 3 of the books that we have read so far. And there are more to come that maybe I can share with you for next week. So make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel, so whenever you get the next video, whenever that may be, you will be notified, and we can learn together. And share your ideas below. What are some of your favorite winter books, your favorite winter activities that you can do with the kids? Or that you used to do and you haven't thought about. I mean, I love being able to create something new and take something old that I used to do and kind of like update it. So if there's something like that, even if you're like, it's kind of outdated, no, let me know, because we can learn from each other and have some fun and learn to love teaching again, because you got to have fun in order to love this job. So anyway, let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time.